Hello and welcome to It's a Fatal Four-Way Copper Bulletins with Hella, Derek, and Mikey, although Mikey didn't want to be on camera because he's not tidied up or something.
I'm in pajamas under the blankets.
Well, you could have sent a pic. But yeah, we've decided to just get
That's for later.
Have try 4 people, which is probably going to be chaos, and we're just gonna chat about kind of do not quite a review, but like a little chat about our feelings on the Mayday EP. And Hella can talk about her sus project that she didn't tell anyone about because she's sneaky. I was gonna do a podcast about Martyrio, but then I just by the time I was like ready to do it, it's like, well, the whole EP's out now, so
Might as well just do it together.
Yeah, well, I just bundle it all into one thing and see how we get on. I mean, just in general, I love, even of these 6 songs, I love how varied everything is. There's so many different vibes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like you can really like, I don't know. I think it's always one of the things that I like about their music, that like if you listen to a different song, it always sounds different. It doesn't sound like the same thing or too similar. So if you have like feeling like a different vibe, it's easy to just kind of play
find a different song.
one of their songs in there. Yep.
And I mean, I know they were very confident when they, in the run up to things being released, saying that the new album was the best thing they'd ever done, and it was hard to know what it was going to be like, but if they tell us that, we believe them, because they're not going to embellish it. If they think it's that good, it's that good. But yeah, I've been blown away with everything so far.
I've been blown away as well. I mean, I love all the songs, and it's really hard to try and put them into any sort of order. People have been rank the songs, and it's like the best I can come up with is like Disciple and Animosity, and then everything else.
If they want to be a bunch of rankers, that's up to them. But I'm
but it's, and then
just do so much shade at Hella for making a ranking system.
Yeah, like just imagine that Simpsons meme where I go behind the bushes.
the Homer gif.
The Homer gif.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, obviously it's not easy, like, because you might have a ranking and then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, you listen to like one of their songs, like, oh, this is not my favorite, so it's not like you can have a ranking and it's going to stay like that forever. It's obviously going to change. And I did that poll just so I can see if like the general favorite changes like after a few months.
I think it changes, like you said, depending on what kind of mood you're in, because different songs fit different vibes. So one day, depending on how you're feeling, Disciple might be up there, but another day you might be, feeling a bit more pissed off about something. So Animosity.
So you'll be feeling yeah.
I was going to say that.
Animosity.
It's interesting that I remember when Choke came out and they said, guys, they said this is one of our least favorite ones. We were like, yeah, right. Well, you got to be kidding. This is really good.
Yeah.
And then now we've seen the other 5 songs. Like, okay, I see where you're coming from. And having gone back and listened back to Choke after being with the new ones, I still really like it. It's great.
I really like Choke. Yeah.
It's a great song, but it's just like there are these other great songs too. So it's like we understand.
Also, recency bias is a thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
True.
And I think Choke's been out long enough now that there's a bit of not quite nostalgia, but when you go back to it, it's like, oh yeah, I said, because
it's like 5 months now, I believe.
Well, it was March, wasn't it?
To think about. No, it was in May.
Was it May?
Oh. Yeah, May. Well, it was end of May, so it's like
Oh yeah, it wasn't.
July, August. Yeah, it's like almost 5 months since it's been out, so we've had it quite a bit compared to these that we've only had for like a week.
I definitely go on. The void in the corner wants to speak.
It's like Choke's been out long enough that you kind of have settled on where you rank it.
Yeah.
Evolve, kind of the same. All the other ones are kind of like you're still placing them and you're still trying to figure out where they rank. It's easier to rank something like a Choke, or like if you go back even further, Queen of the Murder Scene album, because you're so
Yeah.
used to it that you kind of have a set, this is my favorite, this is my second favorite. This is all just like, oh, we have like 6 songs and like 4 of them like brand new. Oh my god, what do I do with them?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm talking like this.
I don't know. But I absolutely understand why they went with Choke for the first single, though. Now I've heard like more of the songs, because I think Choke is the most accessible song out of the 6 on Mayday. It's very radio friendly. I hate to say it, but it may be a little bit Nickelbacky in terms of sort of the accessibility.
You just pissed off so many people.
No, I don't. No,
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
As someone who actually likes Nickelback, fair enough. But I'm just giving you the heads up that there's gonna be angry people in that comment section.
I'm looking to see if there's a drumstick yeeting its way across the Atlantic. But I don't mean that in a bad way, even though I don't particularly like Nickelback. I just mean that in terms of very radio friendly, very accessible. Musically, it's not the most complex, especially when you compare it to what else has come on Mayday. But it's still, it's a really solid song. The lyrics are great, video's great. I've loved how you've gradually seen the videos ramping up as well, as obviously as they've got more comfortable in that space. Rudy working miracles.
It's like we went from not knowing if we would get a video to now like wanting or hoping that we could get one for like every song.
Yeah.
But
all the stories that come out of the different videos, like Rudy's like sort of MacGyver when it comes to putting together.
Yeah, especially for that Evolve one with all those phones.
Yeah,
with the phones. Yeah.
Rudy became Picasso and made a beautiful picture.
I'll find that and I'll put that up somewhere, because that is like it's like Doc Brown's diagram of the flux capacitor, when he shows it.
And what I like is like Choke was very simple. It was a black room and a woman in a pool. That's what Choke was. Evolve was even simpler because there's a white room and there was no woman in a pool. And then Martirio, you got like, the desert stuff, and you have the house scene, which is beautifully shot. I love the framework of the house that they're in. And then you get Disciple, and you get an Angelica in it.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about. Well, we'll talk. We'll go into more detail on that later. But yeah, I love how it looks like the band in particular have gradually got more comfortable, sort of in the space they're working in, and they've gone gradually from just playing to Martirio. There was like a little bit of sort of performance, and same with Enter Sandman, but not a lot.
Yeah.
There was just a bit of I'm going to be here and I'll wave my hands around a bit. And then just to full on acting in Disciple.
In Disciple, it was just
Yeah, then don't forget we also had that Enter Sandman video in the middle.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But again, there was a little bit of performance in there. But
I just thought of Mark going, oh, you went from just performing to you get a bit of hand movement in this video.
Yeah, well, that's just the best way I can describe it, really.
Bit of hocus pocus magic.
Yeah, bit of like Scarlet Witch wiggly woos kind of stuff. But so Evolve, Martirio, we've not talked about on the podcast because I missed it. I was completely sideswiped by the fact that I had a video because of the promo they were doing. Because I know Power put the teasers out for Z, so I assumed Z was like the next single.
Yeah.
I think we all did. Like we were like, oh, they're taking this one, so it's probably the from the EP that's coming out. It's gonna be like the one that they'll do something for. They were like bamboozled.
Yeah, but they posted some teasers up, didn't they, on Patreon? It's like, of like the mountain and stuff like that. It's like, this doesn't fit. These images don't fit the sound of Z, and everyone just assumed it was Martyrio. And yeah, they were right. I love how epic it is.
Yeah.
It's like one of those songs that, like, that ending you can kind of hear, like in the big stadium, everyone just kind of singing along those oh-oh-ohs.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody else thought it, but I thought certainly the second half, to me, I was getting real Eruka vibes from Material.
I just heard you said Eruka. I thought you said Erica, and I was trying to figure out who Erica was. But yes, I get what you're saying.
I've not listened to enough of them to sort of be able to make that comparison. But yeah, I know, Derek, you've listened to quite a bit of them, haven't you? You got
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised considering they consider them like a huge like influence. I think in a lot of recent interviews they've mentioned that they've been like quite big inspo for them. Especially I think when it came to kind of starting to write in Spanish.
Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, it's definitely a light is in the air kind of song, Martyrio.
Yeah. And it's cool, like, obviously we had the live version from Argentina, which clearly didn't have the crowd interaction bit and wasn't 100% finished. But it's amazing how, like, you have that, so you kind of know, like, the basis of what the song is and how it can still overreach what expectations were and, like, go above and beyond what expectations were with the whole song and how it would sound. When it first came out, I thought it was above and beyond the best thing they did. Now there's more competition from the EP, but I think this goes for the entire EP. It is the best vocal work Danny has ever done.
Oh, by a mile, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the vocals are just absolutely superb on it. Danny's never sounded so good.
I just remember like when we first, heard Choke, just like I was like mind blown at like her vocals, because it's like you compare that to some of the earlier work, it's like just totally like next level.
But that's the thing. We probably we had an inkling because obviously they hadn't recorded anything for so long, but on those odd little Danny Day sessions where she'd do like her little singing jukebox, and she was just belting stuff out, and it's like I've never heard us. I remember we talked about it, like we've never heard us sing like that on a record, on a Warning record, and we were all wondering, is this going to follow through into the the new album? And so, certainly so far from what we've seen of Mayday, it definitely has.
It's the natural progression. This is so shit.
You're the ones that said let's have 4 people, so
I'm the one who asked beforehand, hey, what's the outline and structure we're going? And you said we'll wing it.
Have we ever? Since when has there been an outline and structure to these things?
Well, when did we have 4 people?
It happens.
Like
leave that in, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's like herding cats.
Hella, you can go first.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Yes, now I remember. Just that, like, if we think about like when, like, Queen of the Murder Scene was recorded, and then when, this new EP and album were recorded, Queen of the Murder Scene was like August of 2018, and they went into the studio for the new album, September through October of 2020. So that's like 2 years.
Yeah.
When that they had like in between, like actually recording like officially their music. So you can really see like I guess that's one of the reasons you can kind of see that big jump in vocals.
Not to mention 6 months of not being able to do anything other than practice.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Definitely that. And of course, they've all matured that bit more as well, and they've had the time to develop and to practice, and it's paying off. I mean, the drums are fantastic on the EP. I'm loving the bass lines in the songs. Again, I know it was talked about at some point that, you know, David Bendeth got different bass guitars in, and, you know, was sort of experimenting with different ones and stuff. And I mean, you know, we've got nice little bass intros and little bass solos in the songs, and it's all just coming together absolutely fantastically.
Onto the bassline topic in a second, just to go back to the vocals.
Yeah.
And this kind of goes for all of their musicianship as well. It's just on top of the hours and hours and months of practice, it is just a natural progression of they're very young and they're getting older and their voices are just getting better with age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's like if, now I'm trying to think of a band, but if like a band like in their prime takes 2 years between, you'll still get the general feel of like that voice, because that voice is in its prime and it's still in its prime.
Yeah, it's not going to change much, is it?
Yeah. Danny was 18, 19 when Queen of the Murder Scene was recorded, and now she's 21. On top of all the practice, on top of working with David Bendeth, on top of, you know, obviously the lockdown giving them extra time to essentially just focus on being better, just naturally got better.
That's the point I was trying to make as well. You know, obviously that they've gone from being 18, 19, that she's now 21, and the same for all of them. They're getting that bit older, and, you know, it's time, given the time for them to develop, as, you know, on themselves, as well as all the practice that they put in.
And going to the topic of bass, I love Ali's bass playing on everything, but I feel like if you're a new fan, or if you're someone who's not heard Queen of the Murder Scene before, you listen to it and you really enjoy it, but Ali's bass isn't the first thing you notice. Ali's bass playing, I think, got really noticed live, and when you watch them live and you see Ali playing bass, and you see this at the time like 14-year-old girl playing bass. Now she's 16, nearing 17, and on this EP, the bass stands out so much more, in my opinion, than on the previous albums. Like, there's much more noticeable bass lines, I feel. There's,
Definitely.
you know, there's like more spotlight onto her bass.
I've noticed that as well. In most of the songs, there'll be like a couple of little bass fills or something, or a little sort of solo bass bit.
I think as well that with only having, you know, where traditional rock bands have got 2 guitars, a bass, and drums, you know, the guitars do that sort of switching and switch between fills, and one's doing lead, one's doing rhythm type thing. Whereas if you've only got the one guitar, it's a lot harder to do that, and they're utilizing the bass as, and putting in these nice little bass runs and, you know, bass intros.
I do feel I do feel this is probably also a bit of a Bendeth thing as well.
I was going to say, I think, Big Papa B's probably.
Yeah, Big Papa B. Yeah. Well, no, seriously, because the just in terms of where the different instruments sit in terms of recording and in the mix, they're very much in their own space. They're not getting each other's way, and each instrument gets a space to shine. And that's, you know, production plays a big part in that.
On the fact that they're all sisters and they want each other to shine. You know, you're not going to get a Metallica Justice for All where Jason's bass doesn't exist. you're not gonna get ribbed by your own sisters on a studio album.
I did actually. I remember I saw a comment from David Bendeth about Disciple because it was someone had made a comment about the bass tone because it's quite sort of distorted and dirty, and he said that they said they want a dirty bass tone, so he'd sort of put it very so. How's this? And they're like, no, it needs to be dirtier. and you definitely feel that from that Disciple intro. It's very sort of gritty and distorted. There's other little things which I don't know. I suspect this is maybe like a Bendeth trick as well from production. One thing I picked up on a few of the songs is that thing of having like a loud, like a powerful vocal, but then dropped back into the mix so it sounds distant. Like in the choke bridge with the Let Me Drown. They're quite powerful, but they're way back in the mix, so they sound really distant. But it gives you this real sense of sort of depth in the sort of the mix and the song, which is makes everything just sound so big.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Animosity, because I know you love that, don't you, Hella?
Oh yes, I don't know. Just like, and surprisingly though, when I first heard it, like the first few listens, it wasn't at the top of my list. But I think it was more kind of when I started looking at the lyrics and kind of getting like trying to figure out like what it was about. That's when it kind of scaled all the way up to top.
I was exactly the same.
Has someone pissed you off recently? Is that why?
No, I don't know. I think just the way Danny sang it with that conviction and like knowing what it's about, it just like makes you feel like you did someone screwed you over. So, kind of like how Adele, like even if you've never been broken up with, like in any way, like if you hear her music, you just like start bawling out for no reason. Kind of that level. Just kind of going back to the vocals, just they were able to kind of capture the emotion that they try to convey, like in their songs. Including Animosity.
Animosity has their best chorus, in my opinion.
When I first listened to it, I was kind of like, I don't really remember how the song began, but I quite enjoyed the end. And then it's like, I need to listen to this more. And then the more I listened to it, and as Hella says, and you started reading the lyrics and hearing the lyrics and understanding the lyrics, it was like, there's some absolute, it's just like, I really, really like this.
Yeah.
You really want to be pissed off at someone.
Yeah, it's like
you're
so you can connect more.
Fake, and it's just like that. You're like,
if karma doesn't hit you when I will is such a good line.
It is. It's a beautiful line. I love
that.
I love it.
That needs to go on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then I also like the fake funerals for all my friends.
Yeah.
Thank you, Narwhals.
Or also well, I was just gonna say I also love the Mayday, Mayday, the ship is going down.
Yes.
Actually, a metaphor of like the relationship. Which,
or a friendship.
Cool.
And again, that's because when I twigged on that, it's like, oh, that's really smart. And then as well, it's like, well, that's the kind of line that only a young band could actually write, because ship, that's such a, I mean, it's a millennial / Gen Z kind of term.
Exactly. It's
I understand it because I'm down with the kids, but a lot of people my age wouldn't.
I can't wait till we get the Korean pop song by Pal called Stan. We all have dreams.
I am absolutely convinced Pow will do a K-pop / Vocaloid side project at some point.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
I'm waiting for like one of the K-pop group. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And we are all down for that.
Definitely. But yeah, Animosity, the first time I
people off.
Good. Okay. The first time I heard Animosity, because there was a little teaser they released when they were releasing all the little snippets. I thought it sounded quite Paramore-y, and I think it's because of the way Danny delivers the vocals in it.
Yeah, I felt they had like a lot of very anime vibes. I think even in Discord we were doing like some edits, and it kind of fit very well.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, actually. Yeah. But yes, it's like you can also kind of sing some of that influence there. I think I also thought Evolve had some like anime intro vibes too.
Definitely. Evolve more of an anime fight or something.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just you can start seeing some of those like influences more.
Ella's gone quiet.
Sorry.
She's back. It's all right. She's back.
I accidentally clicked the mute button on the headset. Anyway, but yeah, you can start seeing like those influences, especially with like something that you also watch. You're like, oh, that sounds similar to like this anime intro that I heard.
Yeah.
So and so. But it's pretty cool, I think.
And again, I mean, they've got so many influences that they draw from. Now, it's because they listen to such a wide range of music, and they do watch a lot of anime. So it's bound to creep in there at some point.
It's bound to creep in at some point, yeah.
Animosity.
No, that's a good one.
I'm such a comedian.
I'm just gonna refer to it as Animosity.
Animosity is really interesting as well because Pao said on Instagram the other day how that is because they don't normally really write about personal experiences because, as they'll admit, they're too young to have had a lot of them.
Yeah,
in many ways, but Animosity is quite personal to her, and she said she's not used to writing things that are that personal, but it felt very good.
Yeah, I can imagine. But a lot of good lines in there. I think they've also said that Animosity has some of their favorite lyrics. I can understand why.
That's
certainly some of my favorite lyrics.
They're getting. I mean, even go back to 21st Century Blood. They do have quite a way with words in terms, painting the picture with the lyrics.
Yeah.
Even if Pao says they're not about anything at times.
Yes.
You're telling me Queen of the Murder Scene wasn't based on a true story?
I kind of hope it wasn't because
I really never want to upset Pao.
Yeah. It's
a secret side project.
Yeah, but if it is based on a true story, it's the kind of true story that would have like a Netflix special or something.
Yeah.
Probably an Amazon Hulu one.
Yeah.
On each platform, but
yeah, definitely Animosity. I like that's very much a I'm in a pissed off mood. I'm going to listen to this one and sort of spit venom at all the people who've wronged me throughout my life. Because it's not particularly angry, is it? In many ways, but it's just like it's more I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed in you, kind of vibe, which is worse.
True.
You feel about your comedy.
Quite scathing, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Not so much angry, but quite scathing. It is very sort of to the point.
Definitely.
And
then I know we're bouncing all around the EP a little bit, but it's because I'm keeping Disciple at the end. Obviously, then we've got the bounciness of Z, which I keep calling Z.
I keep calling it Z as well because
we can't help it.
Z.
Yeah.
That one just. I think the bass really takes that one. Like
it's so bouncy and funky.
Again, to me, I got real sort of like girls' school, Joan Jett type rock vibes from that, which I really like.
That's interesting because to me it felt very early 2000s sort of skate punk.
Yeah, it definitely got the
Offspring kind of vibe.
It's definitely the sort of psychotic of this album, but I don't know. There was just I think it was kind of the especially at the end.
Yes.
I just kind of got that sort of girls' school riot girl type vibe from it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely a moment
Yeah.
where Pow just starts shrieking in
Yeah.
the best way possible.
Revolutionary Kool-Aid kids.
That's such, and again, that's such
That
a
sounds
good line.
yeah, and I feel like that sounds like it'd be a cool band name. Revolutionary Kool-Aid Kids.
Very long band name.
Yes.
Cost you a lot to put that in the t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'll get chopped down to something trendy.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just
no.
abbreviate it to RCAC. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay. But yeah.
Anyway, that it also has like one of like I think it's my favorite solo from Danny.
Yeah.
That solo is just like
Yeah.
damn girl.
It's like she's making up for the fact that half the songs on the EP don't have solos. So you've got 3 songs worth of solos in one.
That was really good. Like, making out that none of the songs had solos. Sounds like you're hoping there's more solos on the second half.
To be honest, I'm not bothered because the way I see it, I mean, obviously, I grew up in the '80s and stuff like that, so I'm a big fan of all those kind of bands. And yeah, it was all about the guitar solo, 80s,
You've
early
heard
90s
enough.
especially. Well, yeah, I just, in terms of music as a whole and where people are at, I don't think we're as that into them as at the moment. They're not as much of a thing.
This is my opinion on it. I love guitar solos because I love older bands as well.
Yeah.
I feel like a really good guitar solo fits the song and it helps emphasize the message, the story, or the feeling of the song. I feel like there's a lot of older bands that just forced guitar solos into songs because there was an expectation that there's a guitar solo. Because the Warning, based off memory, don't have like a long list of, look at all of these long ass guitar solos. Because they always felt like they stuck to a story or a message or a feeling of a song, and they wouldn't add anything unnecessary to it that would convolute the meaning or emotion of it.
Exactly. If it needs a song, if it needs a solo, it gets one. And clearly Z needed loads of them. But yeah, it's magnificent to hear Danny just completely let loose.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I'm not like the biggest fan of solos, like fancy solos that people just do just for the sake of fancy solos.
It's called guitar wankery.
Yeah. So I always like the ones that are more emotional and kind of actually flow with the music. Which is, that's what I think they also try to focus on. Just kind of, if the solo fits in the song, great. If it doesn't, well,
Yeah.
I think as well, because Danny's the one doing the main singing, that she doesn't get a lot of opportunity to go and do great big massive woodly guitar solos the way some bands can get away with them, because you've maybe got somebody else that's doing vocals at that point, and
also being the only guitarist, she's playing the rhythm parts as well, so again, less opportunity,
because it only is her.
But I love the tone she's got on Z. It sounds a lot dirtier than her normal guitar tone. It feels like more of a sort of a 70s kind of tone. I really like that. It's very, very raw and sort of ragged, but
very early
really fits
punk.
the song. Yeah, definitely. But it really, and the solo she plays as well, it's a very sort of wild sort of free kind of solo.
I think that's what makes the EP so good as well, is because you've got so many different, you've got the, Z's completely different to Disciple, but they're both really quite energetic songs and quite, then you've got the more sort of serious, scathing Animosity. You've got the very, in comparison, relaxed, chill vibes of Martirio. And you've got the sort of slightly more, as you said at the beginning, accessible Choke, and Evolve as well.
And I think that's what you want, though. You want that from an album. You want it to sort of ebb and flow.
Well,
You
yeah.
want the pace to shift around a little bit.
The really good thing is they all sound different feeling, as we've said, but they fit together. It doesn't feel like 6 random songs just mashed into a playlist.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that they do all just, it does all fit together. It all, it's just uncanny the way they can do it.
I've just realised who I'm reminded of in the Z solo. The way that Danny's playing reminds me of Ace Frehley off of Kiss. Because again, he's not technically the greatest guitarist, but he's just got a certain style about him. And he plays with a very sort of, I guess, about kind of loose but it just it sounds really sort of relaxed and free and just playing with a lot of abandon, as it were. Not super accurate, just there's a really good vibe to it, and that's what I get from the Z solo. That's my favorite kind of guitar playing. I'm not mad on like the super technical shredding and stuff like that. I like players who've got a bit of swag about them, and there's a lot of swag in Z, so I like that.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how her playing that solo live, because she's just gonna kill it.
Yeah.
She's like,
that's going to be a great song to hear live.
Yeah, that's definitely, because that's going to be her. I mean, out of everything we've heard by them so far, that's certainly the longest solo on anything they've done, and the most fun. So that's definitely going to be her little solo spot. I do think out of all of the songs so far, that's the one I'm looking forward to seeing live the most.
Yeah, just in general, I want to see all of them. Disciple will also be a good one.
Yeah.
Is that just because when it's on, you'll be going to people, I'm in the video?
No, I'm gonna be like that.
Are they gonna invite you on stage? Are you gonna have a uniform and just stand on stage?
The Disciples on tour.
But yes. We'll talk. Let's have. It's funny because Disciples the first song on the EP, but it makes sense to leave it till last. Although I do feel, I have a sneaky suspicion that Disciples could be the new set opener.
Yeah, it feels. It reminds me that beginning of the song with it starts off with the bass, giving me vibes of like Dust to Dust. That one also starts off with the bass, and it's like real cool.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of Warning purists will want to burn me at the stake for suggesting not opening the set with Dust to Dust, but stuff changes.
Already.
Things move on, and Disciple feels like a really solid opener for a live set. I love the straight away the dirty bass line. Again, back to dirty bass. That dirty bass line at the beginning of Disciple really stood out. It's like, we're in for a ride here.
Funny. I found myself saying dirty bass line quite a few times when I was listening to the songs. It's just so good though.
I think it's the one I've been listening to the most, I have to admit, off the EP.
I must admit, I've just been streaming just cycling through the whole EP pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
Because I love every song of it.
Fair.
What is everyone's favorite music video moment that we've had so far?
Ooh.
Moment?
Well, Hella's just going to say me, obviously.
No, not that. I think from Disciple, the part where they're at towards the end of the video where they're in the top section kind of.
Yeah.
The main reason for that is the extras were in the bottom section, they weren't filming us, so we just kind of were able to just watch them. And Pao was super intimidating because she'd stare at us, so it'd feel like she was staring directly into your eyes, and that was very intimidating.
It was intimidating before she did that.
Yeah. I do.
She hit my friend with a drumstick. I'm
did, yes.
terrified.
I mean,
it's like
Pow, I just never want to upset Pow, basically.
No. Yeah,
but it was like next level acting, like
I don't know. Ali looked quite intimidating when she's walking along with that sort of. I don't know, is it a baton or something she had in her hand?
what is it
Was
called?
Ali baton?
It's
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called. It's like
A
that
metal
thing.
stick.
It has a word, but I can't remember.
And Danny had the sword. I like to think there was a prop box there, and they got there and they just grabbed it and like fought over the sword because obviously the first person that gets a sword gets to keep it because you're not going to get it off them then. It's like, no, I've got a sword. Come and get it. I'll stab you.
I have. If we're going video by video, there's how many moments in Disciple do I want to talk about besides all of it?
I mean, there's quite a lot of Disciple it's worth talking about.
You know what we have to talk about with
initial
Disciple?
favorite one.
You know, you have to talk about towards the end that cut between Ali and Danny that we've all been going on about, which is so slick.
Perfect transition.
Yeah.
It's just
that's so good. There's a GIF of it, and I can watch that over and over again. It's like that's so good.
And Colin Mockley thought he was the master of segues.
No.
All 5 people who got that joke.
Not me.
If you're a Whose Line Is It Anyway fan, you'll get it.
You'll get it. Yeah.
The first thing that I saw that like really got me was the first like, oh, I've been waiting, and you just see that like glimmering look in Pal's eyes that really looks like she's been waiting and she's excited to finally get to what she's doing. And then obviously everyone talks about the 2-3 go that Ali does.
Yes.
And my favorite thing about it isn't just Ali going 2-3 go. It's like obviously with a baton, it's like no, it's concealed, and then you kind of like whip the thing and it like pops out. And how perfect the transition of her saying 2-3 go and just the baton getting whipped out is perfect.
That's a really nice little bit.
Okay, so I remember what it's called. It's a riding crop. I think it's like
riding crop. Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna stick with baton because riding crop sounds like what people use to whip horses.
Yeah. We didn't want to.
Exactly
we don't want to be going down that route.
That's not what it was it?
Yeah, it was. And I've seen other people mention it, call it that too. It is. Powell also had one, but I don't think you could really see it in most of the shots.
I think there is some shots where, or there's been some outtakes where she had it, but I don't necessarily know if it's in the final cut.
Yeah, I do remember she had one too. So probably like it didn't make the final cut.
Yeah, quite possibly. They probably like
pissed out of all the extras too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that 2-3 go like
she's
Powell's in the background, kind of encouraging her.
In quite a lot of the video.
Yeah, megaphone swap between Danny and Powell shocked no one.
But they definitely seem to have been. I mean, they seem to be really enjoying themselves on that one. Like I said, they've gradually added more and more stuff that wasn't just playback. And they really got to mug it up for the camera. Pow, I think, especially seemed to be really enjoying herself.
Pow seemed like she actually wanted to be an actress.
Yeah.
Also, like, we were going on about lyrics mainly in Animosity, but Hate Will Always Be a Good Friend When the Sun Goes Down is excellent.
Yeah.
And, of course, Disciple turns out to be the fabled Numberly Garth song. Which we got told about ages ago.
I hate whoever sent that video at the moment they did, because I hadn't read it with the lyrics yet, and now it's ruined. It's not. Oh, it's enhanced. I'll call it enhanced. But
I can't hear it any other way.
That's like Derek. Lucky so and so over here. Oh, I listen to it with lyrics, so I don't get affected by it. It's like, well, us common folk didn't get that privilege.
didn't.
I must
Oh,
admit,
they were
I
different.
have a big shout out to Dave for actually saying which bits were the mishears, and I can't unhear it now.
I remember them telling us about, because they mentioned that in a live or something ages ago, and they just, because didn't they have a sticker on a laptop that said Numberly Garths or something?
Ah,
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
like and then I think it was like there was there had been a Q&A with Dan, or
Yeah.
Danny was answering questions, and I think they were asking just like an anecdote, and then and obviously the Warning Army gets. So when we finally heard the song, it's like,
And you can't unhear it. But yeah, in that video, especially, Pow is just so expressive, and just clearly really enjoying mugging for the cameras.
Just like super into the character.
As well, that Pow's always stuck behind the drum kit, and it's like when they did Breed in Argentina, and she was not playing the drums. That she was bouncing about that stage like it's like she'd finally been let loose.
It's because like Disciples a serious song, like a serious video, like it's not like a jokey song, whatever.
No.
But Pow's performance, like in terms of the music video, is it's over the top, but just on the brink that it isn't like too ridiculous that you don't take it seriously, but you can see that it's over top. It reminds me, Mark or Derek will know this. In the old James Bonds, I want to say it was a Roger Moore film, who was the crazy Russian, like, general, the bald guy with the crazy eyes, who just seemed to love every single second he was on screen?
Oh, you've lost me.
Oh.
No.
You know who I'm talking about, Derek.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly who he's talking about, but the name just isn't coming to me at the moment.
Well, that was a great success.
I will research this. I am not letting this go.
Fair enough. The video. I mean, there's been lots of different comparisons people are bandied around. Like it feels very Pink Floyd, The Wall-y in many ways. Also a bit Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation. With the uniforms and stuff, and just the general theatricality of it all. It reminds me of something, not I know exactly, but the kind of thing that My Chemical Romance or Panic at the Disco would make. It's just great.
I could. I know what you mean. I could see them doing something like that. Yeah.
And also, this is only Mikey will get this reference. The video projections at the back. Did you not think? Did that not remind you of the House of Horrors match with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt?
Shut up! Stop! Don't
with the
ruin
insects
it
on
for
there.
me. Don't ruin it for me. General Orlov. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Finally on there with Pow's little interlude about the swimming with the fishes.
Yes.
I don't. Is it just me, or does that little interlude feel kind of a bit almost K-poppy in terms of the way the vocals are mixed on that?
Maybe, yeah.
Because it feels like it could have. That section could have come out of a K-pop song.
Yeah, it's like very like the contrast compared to like the rest of it. It's like it makes you focus on it, like you're like doing like head bopping, and then all of a sudden it's like swimming with the fishes, and you know.
Nice impression of Pow singing.
Yeah, it's like she was in the room.
It's like she was in the video herself.
Yeah. Go on. So
I must admit, I thought that was sort of more sort of dreamy type.
Yeah.
It gave me vibes, not how it sounds, but like the placement and how its placement in the song gave me very much the idea of Enter Sandman by Metallica, the little intro that James has with the child.
No, I know what you mean, definitely.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, and then I loved how it was like a duet between Danny and Powell. I think.
Yeah, I always love those.
Something like that. Yes, just kind of like sinister smile.
I think Disciple is now the #1 song to introduce new people to the Warning with. Because I feel like everyone used to do Dust to Dust, whatever. I think the best one before Disciple was Survive. Because it, or Sinister Smiles, because it shows off both Pal and Danny singing. It shows off them musically, obviously. The reason I go Survive is because of the breakdown at the end that shows off them musically. It's like the thing with Dust to Dust is people automatically assume Pal is lead vocalist, which as good as she is, usually it's Danny. And no one knows who Rudy is.
No.
So everyone's confused as to why their quote unquote dad is on stage with them.
Hella, tell us all about your super secret mission and how that came about.
Yeah, so it's
when you were being all stuck in the Discord server.
So I actually kind of knew about this since August. So it's been quite a while. And I know it was initially gonna be in September, but they had to move it. Well, it was gonna be around mid-September, but they had to move it like 2 weeks.
Is that because they decided to do the video for Martyria, which wasn't in their schedule originally?
I'm not sure. I just know that they initially gave us like around the 13th of September, and then they're like, it's gonna get moved down to, it's like, I think it was at 26, 20. It was like a Sun. And yeah, it was just a friend that was in charge of getting, extras for the video. Asked me, I'm like, sure. I mean, how can I say no to that?
So they just chose you. They just chose you to be in the video.
Oh, see, that's the thing. Like, Rudy and the Warning had no idea until I was actually there. I was like, sitting or standing as an extra there, and then Rudy got close to me and was like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he I think we took a selfie and he sent it to them and to the girls, and they were like, "What?"
So you just like, aren't you a little short for an extra?
I don't think I was the shortest one, thankfully. So, but yeah, I just got that invitation, and then down came the time to go to Monterey. And funnily enough, that same night was when the Martyria video came out, so I had to watch it from the airport. So that was kind of exciting, and it was kind of funny how you guys were teasing about me being in the Martyria video, and I was just like, wait until the next one.
Yeah, literally on the plane to be in their next video.
The best is, I text Hella fairly often, and I'm like, oh, what's up? She goes, oh, I'm just going to Mexico with my sister. I'm like, oh, have a good time. I'm like, are you gonna go see family? And she's like,
kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Warning family.
Good guess.
But yeah, that's so yeah, then we had to be at the set at 7 a.m. So that was fun. It was that Sunday, so it was an holiday. I don't know if you guys recall, but Ali was pretty quiet that Sunday.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she's probably with family, and I kind of went along with that on Discord, but knowing that we were just in the middle of shooting
in the middle of filming a video.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were there for we were there starting at 7, and I believe they didn't come in until around 12. So we were just there kind of doing some of the initial just shots of us, walking or marching.
How long did it take to get people to sort of walk in sync for that video?
Quite a few shots. They kind of, they had to hit this, they had this thing in the background that someone was kind of hitting, so that we could kind of stay in rhythm. And at the end we did. And they always told us to look straight or look directly at the screen. Obviously we had to have a few more shots there because people had to get in, had to get ready for the shots. And but yeah, it pretty much gave us our breakfast, our lunch, and our dinner.
That's what I say. What did they feed you? Was there food?
Yes.
I like to know these things.
Yes. So first they gave us kind of bread and some chips. So like bread, I meant like conchas. They're pretty popular over there. And
Did you
obviously
get a
some
bottle?
chips, and then
Did you get a bottle of Zoe water?
I actually did, and I did not like it.
Oh, isn't it? Well,
Yeah.
you won't be getting a brand deal, will you? Not really
Nope.
sponsoring you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just not my type of water.
No.
But I was like, oh, I'll try it out since I've seen them advertise it in their stuff. So I'm like, not my favorite, but okay. Anyway, but yeah, the next thing they gave us were these just kind of tacos. I don't know, like how I would like. They're not like regular tacos, but they're like ones that are. They have different fillings. They're like chicken, beans, stuff like that. They're pretty good. And then
Out of the 4 people here, don't be asking the other 3 for any sort of input on tacos because we don't know shit.
yeah, it's not like the regular tacos. It's like they have a name like tacos de canasta, which since they're like fried, so they're like more greasy than your typical taco.
See, look, Derek's eyes lit up there.
That makes sense because you were just like, oh, they weren't like regular tacos. They had like different fillings like chicken and beans. And Derek,
like
Mark,
tacos.
and I all in unison just went, so tacos.
Yeah. And Derek's eyes lit up when you said they were fried and greasy because he's Scottish.
Yeah. I do gotta say because he's greasy.
Is but yeah, that was kind of like the afternoon or so food, and then for the evening we had pizza. I believe it was Little Caesar, so
yeah,
wasn't too bad.
Is Little Caesar's better in Mexico than it is in America?
I think I just say that I like any fast food like is better in Mexico. Like I've had a McDonald's burger in Mexico and it's like 10 times better than a McDonald's burger here.
So basically, any food anywhere that is not in America is better than what it is in America.
Yes, in Mexico, yes.
I really want to try Mexican Coke one day. Mexican Coca-Cola one day.
UK Coke the same.
I broke Derek because they use like real sugar and stuff. Like that's the big difference. Yeah.
UK Coke's the same. UK Coke uses normal sugar as well, so it's
it uses real sugar. It doesn't use any agave nectar or anything like that,
or high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
I made Derek break character.
He did. He's corpsing. But hella, the shoot. It was it like 12 hours? The shoot,
something like that.
Jesus.
So yeah, so we like the extras were asked to be there at 7. They were probably there a bit earlier to set up the crew. But they dismissed us I think around 7 or 8 at night. So it's, and they were still filming shots inside. Wow. I think they probably ended. I believe someone had asked like around how long they were going to be there. Wanted to see if they could wait to take pictures and stuff. Yeah. But I think they said they were going to be there until like 11 or so. So.
I mean, some people probably would have stayed.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like towards the end, before they dismissed us, we just took that group picture, which you guys probably.
Yes.
Danny posted yesterday, I believe. We were waiting for it to finally show up somewhere. But
I like the. I like to think that because, like you said, obviously the way the video is and all the extras stood very still. That's the whole point. I like to think that in between shots, there's loads of outtakes of. Like, when the band are playing but the extras aren't in the shot, there's loads of people in the back just like busting out Fortnite dances and stuff in their little disciple uniforms.
Yeah, I know like when they were doing some of the shots of them just performing, like close-ups of those, they had us in the back, and as most of you already saw, like there's a lot of us just kind of filming them performing in the back. But yeah, just kind of having to stand there and not move while like the song is blasting, that was hard. And
ironic because when you look at a lot of Warning gigs, that's kind of what's happening in the audience a lot of the time. So,
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yes,
I totally went there.
But yeah, I think the only thing that was kind of difficult was like since we had to be standing for so long, like towards the end of it, like our feet were killing us. Like,
No,
like,
it does. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to try to do that thing of trying to shift between 2 feet, but without really moving.
Yeah, I know. Like when they did the one take that it wasn't like a close up, but they were like doing a playback of the song. It was like, and they were kind of filming the backs of all of us. Like we had to stand still, but at that point we were like our feet were killing us. I was like just trying to, not only just because of the song, but just so like I didn't move my feet since my head was like right behind the camera, so I was like, don't move, but like I'm dying, but I'll make it. It's like weird.
Also,
sort of
it
thing.
feels like the kind of thing. You know, obviously there's the shots of the extras from the front. That kind of feels like the kind of situation where they're trying to film you, but Danny is behind the camera, desperately trying to make everyone break. I feel like she would be the one like pulling faces or something like that. Just
I could see Danny doing that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were like in between takes they were always like very chatting. They were very just like thanking us for for being there. They gave us like a lot of like towards the end, especially they gave us little breaks for us to kind of try to get back the feeling in our feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool, I think.
Do you know a timestamp we can see you in the music video?
I don't know the exact timestamp, but I come up right on Alice's right side when she does a 2-3 go. Yes, I was like right, like I was all the way at the front, like right next to her, on that shot.
I know one thing that's been bugging me about the video. Actually, I don't know if you probably wouldn't have seen it from. Is it about? I think it's about 2 minutes 35 in. There's a close up of one of the guards. Is that Rudy? Because it looks like it might be.
Nope.
Or was he not? He didn't get in costume.
He wasn't dressed up. Yeah, he wasn't dressed up.
He was too busy creatively directing.
He probably was showing a picture of the set.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah, he wasn't in it. Neither was Luis. They were just kind of in the back, just providing support.
Yeah.
And stuff like that for the girls. But yeah, for that 2-3 go, that was probably like she was kind of far from those takes, but she would just kind of be encouraging to Ale while she was doing like the different shots that we did. Probably over 10, but that's what.
Were you like fangirling on the right side of like, oh my god, they're showing sisterly love. We stand this band.
No, it's just pretty chill. I know. I do remember like someone told Ale to like don't accidentally hit it too hard to like hit someone in the back, and she like laughed. It was kind of funny.
Did you steal anything?
We got to keep our costumes. So
you got a costume.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's you sorted for Halloween then.
I mean, I could. It's here already, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
How many?
Yep. Go ahead.
No, you go. Mine was a question. You can finish.
I lost my train of tracks.
My train of tracks.
You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, what was your question?
How many of the extras did you know?
I knew like people that I like talked to like on WhatsApp before then, like probably just like 5 or so. But then I got to meet a few more. Like I was able to hang out with a few more before the shoot. So now I'm familiar with a couple. And we still have a WhatsApp group that was used to kind of coordinate everything. So yeah. But I think what surprised me the most is that we were able to keep the secret for so long, or at least until they revealed that there was going to be a video.
Yeah, right till the end.
Yeah,
when they listed all the extras in the credits on the YouTube page.
Yeah,
it was over 40, so I was glad that everyone was able to keep it quiet. And then you guys discovered that my name was there.
Yeah.
Beforehand. I was like, darn it. But yes.
Angelica, please explain this. What's your name here? What's all this about?
I don't know. Could be someone with my same name.
It's a common name in Mexico. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. But yes.
You basically got interrogated for like 40 minutes on the Discord server about it. So anyone's got a crack under that.
No pressure, yeah. But yeah, thankfully, at least no one like revealed that there was a video anyway. Before that.
No,
which
that's
is nice.
true.
I know it was actually remarkable that 40 extras that nothing got leaked.
Considering that every single Patreon post gets leaked.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I mean, I don't believe everyone that were extras were patrons, so that could explain.
Yeah, that's probably right.
It's like, I'll see an announcement. It's like, oh, hey, guys, this is a secret. 24 hours. Can you do it? It's like, no, give us 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me time to screen cap it and re-upload it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's a really cool experience to have on the on. Not many people can take that and say, oh, I was in a video.
Yeah, that was that's why when they first told me about it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to make room for that. And funnily enough, I had in September, I had some days I had to take off anyway, so I was like, this is a sign that I should go.
The most arrogant and confident I've ever heard you sound.
Good. Hold on to that energy. It's good.
Yes.
Maybe it'll cast you in the future.
Yeah.
It'll be like the warning on tour with Latina Heat or something like that.
The warning on.
I can't believe you said that.
Oh, Mikey.
Well, I'll look forward to the announcement for that one.
I will too. Angelica can start selling autographs. She can quit her day job.
Coming to a venue near you.
No, I'm good. Just being a fan on the outside.
I thought you were gonna say just being an accountant.
Yes.
Oh, that too. I can't with you. Only if you will understand that reference.
Yeah.
Only people on my Discord server, which Mark will link down below.
The link's always there. I never remove it.
Yeah, and no one knew ever joined.
Probably because everyone that watches it's in there already.
In it. All the people watch it are the people that we link it to. Like, please support us.
Yeah, come and watch this.
How long until we get a video sponsor?
Oh, long way. But yeah,
how long until we get the guts to ask the warning?
Oh, God knows. Hella can do it. Pretty sure she lives in that kitchen anyway, so.
No, I'm still far off in Chicago.
That's what they all say. This is a genuine question I have, though. So, obviously, I text you and you were like, oh, I'm going with my sister down to Mexico. Did your sister go with you?
No,
You even lied about
more
that.
lies. More lies.
Did I tell you about my sister for this trip? I thought it was for the because I had my trip to New York the following week. I think you're confusing them.
No.
I'm positive, no, we're going down to Mexico. I'm like, oh, very nice. Enjoy yourself.
Stop gaslighting Mikey. Not nice.
I don't remember. It's probably in the DM.
I think we're gradually just descending into chaos and anarchy here.
We get sponsored by one of those men hair products, and we just use Derek and Mark as the people who are showing off.
It's like it doesn't work. It's terrible. Look what it did to me.
We'll get the water sponsor, and we'll kick Hella off the podcast.
Yeah. She's not allowed anyone she didn't like it. But I don't know. I really can't remember anything of the last however long we've been doing this for, last hour or so. It's just a blur.
I just remember I like the Mexican Coke. I call Derek Greasy an Octopussy.
And that's about it.
I remember all the times I ruined the podcast.
Yeah.
After Mikey declaring they wanted Mexican Coke, it's all a bit of a blur to me.
This is going to be an absolute nightmare to edit. But
don't edit it. This is my breakthrough as a comedian.
I'll have to do some editing, but
you'll need to upload it in about 6 parts otherwise.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, I just think it's an absolute miracle that I managed to get the 3 of you to turn up at the same time.
I know.
Not, when you said you would, and not have some people just like have an emergency or just like fall asleep or something. Everyone turned up. It's great. It's a miracle. Christmas miracle. But yeah, thank you very much for your time. Like I say, I can't remember what we talked about. It's been chaotic. But
I can't tell to thank you for your time or for the people watching or to the 3 of us.
For the people watching, God love you. No idea how anyone's going to get through this.
We all love you.
But yeah.
Enjoy listening to us rambling on.
Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to something that makes slightly more sense than this. And go stream Mayday because it's really good.
Yes.
Actually, just don't bother with the podcast.
Yeah,
just
stream Mayday.
Just stream Mayday.
But
you'll get a couple listens through.
Comments and stuff, yeah. So what? But post in the comments what you think of Mayday. Not you 3, but anyone who's actually listening. But you could do it as well just to get the ball rolling. What do you think of Mayday? What's your favourite song? Like, what's your favourite video? Have you found Hella in the Disciple video?
Mind you, it might be easier for me to type for the American listeners.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, Scottish subtitles required. But yeah, thanks guys. To be honest, I think I'm going to go and have a lie down after that because it was very draining. This one.
It's like 2 hours.
Yeah. And
funnily enough, I'm going to go to my bed because I've got to be up in 6 hours for work.
Poor Derek's going to get back home. Go back home because he's been sat outside Edinburgh Castle all this time.
My favourite part is that it's never a clear thing of you, and then the castle, your wall keeps glitching into your headset. It's like it shows the low budget we're working on of 0.
Yeah,
it's a Discord beta feature. I mean, what can I say?
Not exactly.
It reminds me of the Zoom calls we used to do. Me, you, Angelica, Sonia, and Robin.
Sonia.
Where you just have the background and your head just glitched through the background.
Well,
it's when the background was just me as the big daddy Derek.
It's like a ghosty. It's kind of going. But yeah, I think we all need to just go and have a lie down and recover from this one. But
everyone who listens needs to go to therapy.
Yeah, but thanks for you 3 for finally getting your shit together. So that's the only way I can describe it. And
you have to keep that line in.
Yeah, that's staying. And thanks to everyone who's managed to make it to the end of this absolute dumpster fire. But it's been a fun dumpster fire.
It's been a beautiful.
It has. And we'll see you all on the next one, and we'll try and pull it back to the rails next time.
Maybe.
Everyone say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.